What you're seeing is a full-page ad set to appear in the New York Times and in the Washington Post. This ad was designed and placed by RFD-TV in response to Verizon Fios abruptly dropping RFD-TV from their lineup, and was inspired by thousands of responses from RFD-TV viewers. RFD-TV has been faced with challenges in the past, and tonight, a new challenge: Verizon Fios abruptly dropping RFD-TV from their lineup. And Patrick, what's the latest?
The latest, Mark, is after a couple days, we finally got a hold of a Verizon Fios executives this afternoon, and I asked if there was anything we could do. Are there any terms, any conditions, anything that could be done to keep RFD-TV on Verizon Fios after delivering so many viewer comments and phone calls and everything? And the guy just said no. So many people were writing and asking that they couldn't get a hold of a live person on the phone at Verizon to show their support for RFD-TV or write a letter. The response has been off the charts again.
Unbelievable.
Just, tens of thousands of letters, and I think we got a shot of some of them.
You have, and viewers, you're seeing this. This is just a sample. I'm just amazed, and Patrick and the staff started bringing these in.
Yeah, we print off every one, but we printed them off for Verizon. We delivered them to the programming executives. We delivered them to their lobbying group in Washington, D.C. We delivered another batch to their PR department. And then most recently, we delivered several binders along with a personal letter from me to the chairman and CEO of Verizon, Lowell McAdam, to try to bring this to his attention.
And response?
No response. These letters were just pouring in saying, Verizon, if you drop RFD-TV, we're dropping you. They're fed up. They're frustrated. They've had the Weather Channel, the Outdoor Channel, the Sportsman's Channel taken away, and now RFD-TV. There's been no adjustment to their bill. Verizon still expects them to keep their service or pay a penalty if they want to disconnect and go with a system that does carry RFD-TV. This is just not a good situation.
One big problem we've got. They wanted to charge me $140 to drop Verizon. And I don't think that's right.
Right.
They also turned around and said, the girl just totally ignored me. I told them, I said, you keep losing customers, you're going to be out of a job. They don't care. I said, I think personally we should get the FCC involved, senators, congressmen, whoever.
We found on their own website their culture, their mission statement of the company.
Read that.
If I can read this, their mission statement says, we focus outward on the customer, not inward. We make it easy for customers to do business with us by listening, anticipating, and responding to their needs.
Yeah, well, the executives that I've been dealing with for the last 3 weeks at Verizon need to go back and read their own mission statement.
I am appalled that you would consider dropping RFD-TV cable. It's clearly the best cable channel we receive, and if it goes, we go, and so do all of our friends, our neighbors on Fios. Another email, Patrick?
Yeah, I have DirecTV, but I'm sticking up for those who have Verizon Fios. I've had Verizon Fios for 10 years for my 5 cell phones. If Verizon goes through with dropping RFD-TV, I will move my cell phone to AT&T or something else. Let them know that. And that was really the theme on many, many, many letters, which is how we came up with the ad, drop us, drop you, Verizon. We stick to our guns. We launched this network to serve the needs and interests of rural America, number one, and number two was to reconnect city with country again, which is, again, why it's so important to hold on to every subscriber that Verizon has. Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York City, lots of letters from those folks the past 3 weeks on how much they love RFD-TV.
Here's one, Patrick. Do you not, and this is written to the folks at Verizon, do you not value the people who live in rural, small towns, small city regions in the United States just because the population is scattered rather than concentrated in huge urban areas? And you've addressed that to a degree as well.
Well, yeah, but we're getting just as many, if not more, letters from folks that live in large cities, from Baltimore, Maryland, from Washington, D.C. A lot of letters from New York City and California. Here's one of my favorites. From California. I am a Verizon shareholder of 3,000 shares. Please do not drop RFD-TV from my viewing choices. I am an urban viewer, and I can't believe that dropping RFD-TV from our viewing choice will make much difference to Verizon's bottom line profit.
Hi, I am so sad about RFD being cut off the air. I've had Verizon for years, and I'm telling you one thing, my daughter's here, and she's already contracting Dish to cut Verizon off. I'm sick and tired of them telling other people that they can't watch what they want to see on TV.
One thing you also wanted to point out, and the ad says it as well, this is not about any kind of a rate dispute that you would have with Verizon.
No, normally, and Verizon's trying to blame it on that, but they're making the case that programming costs go up substantially every year, and that in order to prevent these costs from being reflected in your bill, it is sometimes necessary to remove channels from our lineup. Well, that's not the case with RFD-TV. Number one, we're only a few pennies a month to begin with. Number two, we've never raised our rates to Verizon or anybody else. So this is not a rate dispute. We thought we went through this 2 years ago when everybody wrote letters on our behalf in support of rural content to the FCC. There were over 93,000 letters sent for the Comcast Time Warner and the AT&T DirecTV merger issue. Spent a lot of time on the Hill with senators and congressmen, especially rural senators and congressmen. So everybody was educated. The Department of Justice asked us to come in and interviewed us. We testified before the FCC. We were called in front of the hearings. And I thought everybody got the message that rural content was important, and it was important for urban cable systems to be distributing some rural content. They got 50 movie channels, they got 50 sports channels, they got 50 Spanish language channels. And our point then was, can't there just at least be one network that's for rural America?
Is Verizon so big that they're not subject to FCC? It's just like they're running roughshod over the world, and the corporate greed is out of sight.
Well, it's an interesting question, and I think, let me be constructive and say Verizon's pushing the envelope here. A cable company has the right to drop any channel they want to drop, and up to this point, they've always, if they dropped one, it was usually for a pretty good reason. But this is a different case here. In Verizon's case, it looks like they have a bias against rural programming. They've dropped, the only channels they've dropped is Blue Highways TV a couple years ago, the Sportsman's Channel, the Weather Channel, and the Outdoor Channel, and now us. So, again, they can drop anything they want, but to drop channels now and still expect people to honor their contracts, I think that's something that has to be looked at by the state attorneys general and eventually to the FCC and the Department of Justice for just exactly the reason that you're bringing up. Companies like Verizon and Comcast want information only to flow from the cities out to the country. I don't think they understand that there also has to be some content coming from the country to go back in the city, and that's what we are. I wish there were more channels like us. You know, it's kind of, we're kind of on an island here at times.
Exactly.
But that's what the real issue is.